welcome. I am so glad you are here today, whether you're at home, at work, on the go. I am so thankful that you wanted to spend a few minutes with me and share in these conversations today. So I want to continue our emotional and mental health discussion that we've been having. And today I want to focus more on why we might compare ourselves to others and place judgments on ourselves. Have you ever done this? Have you ever compared yourself to someone else? Like maybe when having a conversation with someone or just watching someone from afar, maybe on their social media account, and your mind automatically goes into this comparison mode of, look at all they have accomplished. I haven't done anything like that. Or maybe it's seeing someone who has a car, a house, a job, a family, just something that you've wanted that you don't have. And you think, gosh, why don't I have that yet? Or I should have that, or I should have already accomplished something like that. I call this shoulding on ourselves, and it's not healthy. Thinking I should have done this, or I should have done that, or a certain situation should have worked out differently. That wasn't what was meant to be, or else it would have. So stop shoulding on yourself. Let it go. We compare ourselves too often to others, and is that to make us feel better about ourselves? Like, I don't know why as a society are we so hung up in seeing what others have achieved or what they have possession wise, and then comparing that to what we have done, or what we have in our possession. It reminds me of a story I heard years ago. I think it's called Pure White. And it had a little girl that went on vacation into the countryside. And they were staying in this beautiful cabin in the middle of all these rolling hills. And one day she looked out her window and she could see a bunch of sheep grazing on the hillside against the green grass. And she made the comment to her dad, wow, those sheep are so white. They're like fluffy clouds of white against a sky of green. Well, that night, while everyone was sleeping, a big snowstorm came and dumped several inches of snow into that area. So when she woke up the next day and she looked out the window, she thought, wow, yesterday those sheep looked like fluffy white clouds, like, brilliant white. But today, look how dirty they are. And so the moral of that story is, against the green of the field, the sheep were brilliant white, right? Just as it is when we compare ourselves to others. Sometimes are we using others as our tool to make ourselves look better, feel better? What if you compared yourself against the purity of God's standards, against that snow that fell overnight, right? That would make us look almost a dirty brown. So if we're going to do any comparisons, what should we be reflecting on? What should we be comparing ourselves to? And it's not other people. I don't know where that urge comes from. A lot of it to me seems like it's guilt, like the true root cause of why we would compare ourselves to someone and then feel bad about a place we're in. Like, that to me tells me there's something that we're not happy with in our own lives. And we're reaching out to say, well, look, so-and-so, man, look at everything they've done. And it's just a way for us to stay in a victim mentality. Oh, I can't do this, or I haven't done that. Or do we use it as a tool to say, I have done something really cool, or that I'm really proud of, that I worked really hard for, and let me compare myself to someone else and maybe they haven't. And that's a way to build me up and make me feel better. But that's not exactly what God wants us to do either. So just reflect on that. Is there something that you're not happy with in your life that might make you turn to others to see what they have and compare yourself to them? Are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? Why? Are you allowing others' ideas to shape your actions, to shape your day, even maybe shape your goals and your dreams? Your life is not theirs, right? Your destiny is not theirs. Your choices are not theirs. What you have as your own God-given unique gift is not the same as what they have. Why are you comparing yourself to let what someone else is doing drive you on a path that isn't even meant for you? Like, have you ever thought about that? Are we placing our own assumptions about society and culture on ourselves? I've done this, especially when I first became a mom. I really struggled with, is it okay to be a full-time working mom? What does that mean? What does that look like? I want to be a mom, absolutely. That's always been a goal and a huge dream of mine. And I've been blessed to be able to do that twice now. Um, but I also have a desire to have a career and to help other people develop their dreams, go after what they want to achieve. And I've struggled with, can you have both? So have you reflected on what makes you happy? Are you living life based on what someone else's idea of happiness is, or what their idea of success is? Or are you defining that for yourself? And for me, that I defined it as my joy. My joy is what moves the needle. So what am I going to be the happiest at? I live for every little moment, every memory I can make with my family. That is what drives me every day. I want to find a way to light up my children's day or to help them through something, even if it's math problems that are no longer like the math that I grew up learning, but any little thing that I can do to help them that will build their confidence, that will build their self-esteem, and that will just let them know how much I love them and that I am here for them no matter what it is they're going through. Same thing with my husband, right? Be a sounding board for him. Or if I've had a bad day at work and I know I can come home and he can be my sounding board. But I also find joy in being at work and helping others believe in themselves and working through someone's goals and dreams and whatever life situations they're dealing with and peeling back those onion layers and helping them realize you've got this. It's okay to dream big. Nothing is unachievable. It may be really hard work and you may not want to do it, but nothing is unachievable. So that's what brings me joy. And then as I think about, okay, what would a perfect day look like? Any day could look a little differently in that aspect, but what about you? Like, what if you could have, what would your perfect day look like, right? And what if you could repeat that every day? What if you could literally live your perfect day every day? And who's to say you can't do that, right? What is it that you want? What truly excites you and drives you and gets you out of bed every day? What are you passionate about? Are you able to capture any of that on any given day or any given week even? Are you living to please yourself, or are you always trying to please someone else and live up to someone else's standards? And by someone else, I don't mean God, all right? If you're living up to God's standards, you're doing a great job. I don't know many people who are able to do that. But when it's someone else that you're trying to please all the time, why? They're not your final judgment. And why let someone else dictate what you accomplish or what you experience in your life? You control that, right? This is your life. One earthly life. You hear me say it all the time. Kind of reminds me of that Billy Joel song, the My Life song, right? Don't be a victim of circumstance. You can speak your mind, but not on my time, right? Doesn't mean we don't want the feedback. We absolutely want that. But don't let someone else's ideas and dreams become what you start striving after, especially when it's not something that you want. And are you letting others speak for you, or allowing them to silence you? What's your inner voice? What do you want? Stop shushing your inner voice and figure out, what do you really want in life? How many chances do you think you're going to get to accomplish your dreams? Do you even have any dreams? Have you ever just thought about that perfect day or that perfect life? Or what does that mean to you? Remember, your thoughts can control your destiny and can create your reality. What are you telling yourself? What are you feeding yourself? What are you allowing yourself to believe? I truly pray you're not allowing someone else to cast a shadow on you and to make those decisions for you. So how do you get clarity on your goals? How do you give yourself permission to think for yourself and dream for yourself? Release any guilt you have associated with wanting something for yourself. It's okay to want things for yourself. It's okay to dream big and to go after them. But you need to take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to really get into that intuition and that mindset of reflection so you can figure out what it is that you do want. So I want to do that with you. So for the next 60 seconds, if you're driving, please don't do this with me right now. Please do this later when you're in a safe spot. But for the next 60 seconds, I want you to do this with me. Close your eyes and we're going to do some deep breathing. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Then take a deep breath in through your mouth. Out through your nose. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And out through your nose. Then a deep breath in through your mouth. And out through your mouth. Okay, that's known as box breathing. Gives us a chance to reset physically and mentally. Now take a stretch, just a moment. Stretch our necks to the left. Roll your neck around to the right. Stretch your arms. Just be in the moment. Notice how you feel to just breathe, to just be here. Your jaws unclenched. The breaths are coming in and out. Your shoulders are down. Your muscles are relaxed. How does that feel? Do you feel calmer? Maybe even calmer than you were just 5 minutes ago? So now we're relaxed. Now let's do the reflection. Think about what drives you. What makes you happy? What do you want to accomplish? What's your purpose in life? And then think about, how do you see you, yourself? What is your perception of yourself? Are you happy with that? You've heard me say it before. You have to look at yourself in the mirror every morning, every night, when you wake up and before you go to bed. Are you happy with that reflection? Are you happy with who you're seeing? Are you happy with who you've become? Is there anything that needs to change to bring alignment between your perception of yourself and what your purpose is, what you have goals, or what your dreams and goals are? So if you just take 60 seconds a day to do this type of exercise, do the box breathing, reflect on things, think about what your purpose is, what drives you, this can literally change your world. It's a sacred 60 seconds that you can give yourself every single day that can completely change your mindset and the projection of your life. Think about all the blessings you have. Remember that abundance mentality I talked about last time? You are surrounded every day by so many blessings, and some of those come in disguises. Some of them don't seem like blessings in the moment. And then you get down the road a little bit and hindsight shows you it was. Now take notice. Even the small things that you may not notice: electricity, running water, food, air conditioning, heat when you need it, some form of transportation to get you where you need to be. Just waking up every day to face another day, that's God's way of saying you have another purpose to fulfill in that day. So go tackle the day, go do it. This takes me back to where we started today. Are you living your life to achieve what you want? Or are you comparing yourself to others and letting what someone else has drive your actions? You are not like anyone else on earth. You were created specifically on purpose and for your purpose. Every one of us is unique, right? Take a look at your fingers. Do you have fingerprints? Yeah. Are these the same as anyone else? No. My story is not your story. Your story is not someone else's story. Stop comparing yourself and stop the shoulding all over yourself. Your path is your own. So figure out where you want to go and then go. Knowing you will make mistakes along the way. It's not a perfect road, but that's the beauty of being human and learning and growing. We can't get better if we don't try and fail at some point. So allow yourself to make the mistakes, to learn from them, but then let them go and move on. Don't allow the guilt or the regret to overwhelm you. Don't resist them. It's very important that you recognize when those feelings are happening because they will be persistent. Acknowledge them. Oh, hello. Yeah, I messed up. Thanks for pointing that out. I got to go move on now. Right? It's that whole thanks for playing. You're not staying here mentality. It gets you to that point where you can just recognize, accept, and release to get you back on track to where you want to be. And so understanding what truly drives you, what your passions are, what you feel your purpose is, what those God-given unique gifts are just for you. Like, understand that, focus on that, and then build yourself up for when you do things right, because you will do things right. So celebrate that. Be intentional, be purposeful, be focused, right? So talk about what happened during the day. Think back, reflect on that, journal it, whatever that sacred 60 looks like to you. Be there, be in the moment, feel it, meditate on it, pray about it. You can even reverse engineer it. When you're at the end of the day and you think back on that day or maybe another day of the week, what are the thoughts and the feelings that came out of that? What other thoughts and feelings did that create? So back all the way up to when you felt good or proud or happy, what made you feel that way? And if that's how you want to feel every day, then how do you work at achieving that and inserting that into every day? How do you work the next day to experience just a little bit of those feelings into that day? Then work to achieve that as small milestones, inserting those small feelings and emotions into the day. And we all know that after about 21 days of doing anything, it becomes a habit. Once you do that, and once you have those moments of happiness, achievement, being proud, then you'll realize your days aren't quite as bad as what you once thought. And maybe now you're able to start making some of your own choices and not compare yourself to anyone else's life and look to them for guidance or for what they're doing. Because what they may be doing may be nothing like what you need to be doing. And again, it's your life, your path, your story, using your own gifts. You are your own person with your own thumbprint. What do you want in your life? It's up to you to create that. You create your own destiny, joy, and happiness. So what does that look like for you? I'll leave you with that for today. I pray that you take time this month to reflect on yourself, implement a sacred 60 into your days, taking that time to be present with yourself in those moments, reflect on all things good and bad, count your blessings, and be truly grateful for those. and then seek God's guidance and grace for your days ahead. Thank you for being here with me today. Take care of yourself. I look forward to seeing you next month.